What's going on, guys? Welcome to Rarity Games, doing another podcast. It's actually number fucking 20, which is awesome. Got a couple guests here. Jay's back for his second run. Drew's back for his second one. And, of course, as always, I got Chris here. Well, welcome to the podcast, guys, and let's get right into the fucking what we've all been playing. I know Jay's finally got Game Pass. I talked him into it.
Buddy, and I'm glad I got it because Gears Tactics is absolutely sick.
Dude.
Yeah, it is.
Got it, everything.
I fucking told you.
The graphics, the way it's played, it's like, Drew, everything we wanted in XCOM, did it, and it's not even released yet, and it's smoother than any
Thanks
XCOM.
for the follow, man.
For real though.
It's
like I don't know.
Dude,
I need to be able to play it though.
It is great.
Dude,
So the best way I can break it down is kind of like how Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3 had that huge leap while they added hero units. This is kind of like that for XCOM. They have hero units that are like your main characters in the story or whatever, and then you have like the gears, the random units you pick up and you train and you spec out as you want. And if they die, they die. If they live, they live. It is what it is.
I kind of got like a StarCraft XCOM feeling from it.
a little bit, yeah.
But it's like turn-based.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like each
What
guy
do you
has a certain amount of
That
action.
sounds so good though.
Yeah.
So
It
it's
is.
XCOM turn-based, so like your whole squad can move. So you can move one dude one step, and then have another dude shoot at some guy that just popped out of cover that your dude like stumbled across, and then the first guy can go back and do another action or whatever. It's like point-based, like you have 3 action points or movement points per turn.
Yeah, and then certain
So it's
guys.
exactly like XCOM.
Yep, certain guys have skills that you can like give them extra action points, or if you do certain like executions, you get extra action
by,
points.
like,
it's fucking cool, man.
Melee or
XCOM.
chainsaw.
Minus all the bugs and glitches.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and dude, the sniper
I
class.
know that was bad.
Dude, I made a
This was my
sniper
favorite,
that
though.
literally can't stop running action points. Like, every kill I get with the sniper, he gets 2 more action points, and then he has a skill that if I hit a shot, I get 2 more action points, and then I got another skill, if I blow off a dude's head, I get 3 more action points. So, like, dude, I was just owning people with my snipers. Like, it's crazy.
So 2 things from my perspective on Gears Tactics. One, from a negative perspective, it's a little too easy to jack up your main character's skill tree.
Mhm.
The skill trees are real in-depth and very like, oh, you spend a point in this column, then you spend a point in that column, and it kind of like builds on each other sort of thing. But if you don't look at what the end result that you're building towards is, you might have just wasted 5 levels for no
because
reason whatsoever.
You know how they're in like quadrants? You can go like Alt Paladin, whatever the other 2 are. You can only follow one of them, right?
Correct. You basically
Branch
get
up
enough.
and down.
Correct. You get enough points to spend a couple here. You might fill half of another branch of the tree, but you're not going to max out that branch.
Yeah, you can only max out like 1.5 branches, essentially. Like, you go up and to the left or whatever, but you can't get the full skill tree. So you gotta like have a certain type. That's why you can have like 4 of the same guy and do them all differently.
Mhm. And
It's definitely
2,
worth checking out the Game Pass for that because it's $1 and then $5 a month.
oh, 100%. And 2, because like Jay just said, of Game Pass and Microsoft going real heavy with that PC aspect of it, you're basically playing Gears Tactics on PC as a Series X launch game like 6 months early. Because there's not a doubt in my mind this game is going to come to the Xbox Series X because it's that good.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's early release. Like, you can only play it on PC Game Pass right now, which is cool.
Mhm.
Like, and I because of Game Pass, I'm playing Crackdown 3 right now, a game I would never fucking buy, but it's fun to play because I can. They got like, and then Sunset Overdrive I'm about to get into, who never got the chance to play. Like, a bunch of good games. I'm digging Game Pass a lot.
Not only that, if you guys have never gotten into like Super Hot, like they're doing a great job of
Super
curating
Hot.
the library for Game Pass.
Super Hot was fun. That's about to leave Game Pass, but I just beat that. That was really fun. Weird as shit, but really fun.
Dude, that in VR is amazing.
I can see how, because you're like literally throwing a gun at a dude's face when you run out of ammo, and you take his gun, spin around, shoot another guy, chuck it at his face, take the sword,
Yep.
throw it at him. Like, it's fucking crazy. That game is fun as hell, and it's hard. It's not easy. Like, you have to like set everything up strategy wise.
So, what else has anybody else been playing?
I've been getting into Battlefront 2 now. just started that. Just ran a stream of that yesterday. Probably gonna be doing it again today. And
Oh my god, I'm on it. I'm loaded already.
He's like, I'm ready to go. As soon as this is over, we're in there. I feel you, dude. I didn't expect to love it as much as I did love it. It's incredible. We got Drew on pause for a second. Hopefully he comes back.
I gotta get in there with you. I did download it, so I'm ready to go, but I haven't been on it yet.
Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship with Battlefront 2 because I bought it like the limited edition $80 version at launch, and like from a launch edition, that game was kind of busted in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways you felt like what was the original core of the game, running in there as like a clone trooper or like, you know, a droid and just fighting. Like the gameplay, the mechanics of that game feel awesome. The leveling, and originally like the unlock system with the loot boxes broke that game. I tried to go back to it like a year or two later.
Oh no, we lost them. That sucks.
I tried to go back a year or two later, and the game was still fun to an extent, but because I played it pre like reboot essentially before they removed loot boxes and everything, like the level system that they tried to implement, because I had played it before, was basically broken because I had a bunch of max level unlocks already unlocked, but a lot of the basic stuff I didn't. So like the game didn't necessarily know how to let me use things that I already had equipped to my guys.
Yeah, that is weird. I don't know what the hell just happened to Drew, but we completely lost him on that one.
That's all right. We'll get him back.
Yeah, I reset it. Hopefully he'll just hop back in the party.
Should be the same code, right? So
I assume. I'll make sure. But either way, yeah, dude, Battlefront 2 like made me like lose it. Like I couldn't believe how much fun it was. Like I literally jumped in. We just started playing heroes versus villains, and like just going ham with Kylo Ren, like chucking dudes off the side of the map and shit. Like
and speaking of Battlefront 2, my personal favorite part of Battlefront 2 was the space combat, which they more or less used as a prototype. There you go. More or less used as a prototype for Star Wars Squadrons, the new upcoming game from EA.
Hey,
they just announced.
You're back. I don't know what happened to you, but you're back, so that's all that matters. All right, I'll put Chris up there, and then we're. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, at least you can get back easily. It's not that big a deal. And I just move you guys over, and yeah, that's it. Hey, you're back.
My bad. I don't know what just happened. It looked like my internet just dropped out.
Yeah, it's all good. I can just quickly move you guys in and out of the pieces, so it's all good.
It's all good. You're still better than Joey.
Yeah, for real.
Zoom also gets finicky on Wi-Fi. So
yeah, you're a lot cuter than Joey too.
I know.
God.
I don't look like a
it's not hard
Chocula.
to
do. A steaming pile of chin.
Oh, cold-blooded. But yeah, that Battlefront 2, definitely something to go back and check out if you haven't, because you can get it pretty inexpensive anymore.
No, it's free right now for our PS4 people. So and then
I was just getting
for
hyped
you
about
suckers
that
paid for the $80 deluxe.
Yeah, right. There I go, playing a game at launch again like a fool.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot of people's problems. That's like I was just having this conversation with Joey about Destiny 2. I'm like, go ahead and buy that expansion. I know you guys love the game. Go for it. It just sucks to see that it's going to be $10 in a few months when the player base falls off again, or free.
Well, and that's my experience with the Division 2. Like, I had fun with it. I put it away. It came back super cheap. I'm going to pick that up. You know what I mean? The expansion, I'm waiting to drop, because $30 for an expansion that you're basically doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, if me and Drew got the damn game for what was it, like $10?
20. Well, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was super cheap.
And then, yeah, we got the DLC and shit, and that was it. Like it was so worth it for us.
Yeah, there was a lot of game for the $20 I paid. So.
Built that clan up and then just dropped it.
Yep, me and Drew got far as hell, and we were just like, peace.
I got it when they did that like random flash sale, and like it didn't have any of the DLC, but the game was $4, so I was like, okay, whatever.
Yep.
That's exactly what I did.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
And then we did say, okay, I enjoyed this game enough. When the new DLC came out, we paid the full price for it because we liked it enough. It was worth it.
And I have not gone back to that at all.
We beat the shit out of it, and then we didn't do any of like
there
that
was
extra,
a lot of cool
extra.
stuff.
Yeah.
That we just stopped at.
The grind almost inhibits the game. Like they made it too grindy.
Yes. Yeah, just to fight a rogue agent, like you'd have to do like a week of gameplay, and then you go fight this rogue agent, and you're like, I did it.
Well, and if you can do 5 or 6 runs on some like boss run to try and get a mod for a gun you want. It's like, dude, come on.
Yeah,
I've dumped 60 hours into this game. Don't make me grind this 5 times.
Yeah, I just noticed they dropped that game West of Dead on Game Pass as well. The game you were showing me a while ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played that a while ago. That is super stylized, like a top-down, almost like Enter the Gungeon, like the kind of run-in looter shooter.
Yeah, it looks cool as hell. I downloaded it right away. It's only like 700 megs. I was like,
yeah,
okay,
super stylized.
I'll take it.
Most of it, honestly, is cell shaded, and it's all voice. I think Ron Perlman does the main character voice.
Oh shit, that makes it even cooler. I didn't even know that.
Flaming Skull cowboy guy.
Yeah. If he does it, then it's gonna be a kick-ass story. That should be fun.
Yeah.
So what have you been playing though, Chris?
Me personally, I got my hands on some unreleased stuff. I've been messing with Grounded a little bit, the Ubisoft game.
Yeah, unfortunately, can't
out.
talk about it too much. I guess I don't even know if you can say you're playing it, but
I can say I'm playing. I'm playing the equivalent of like an E3 floor build.
Yeah. Okay,
like
that's fair.
There's a certain amount of time limited I get to play with the game. Literally in a session, not just overall. Like it deletes my character after a certain amount of time.
Well, fuck it. At least, hey man, at least you get to try it, and you said you were enjoying it, so
yeah,
that's good.
I can't go super in depth, but it's super cool and something to definitely keep your eye on.
Yeah,
Obsidian.
The way Obsidian making a new kind of game, that's interesting. It's good to see.
I can't say anything about it, but how did you possibly describe it, Jay?
It looks to me like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids meets Bug's Life.
That sounds about right.
It looks pretty dope.
I heard something about spiders, and they can just straight up eat you alive. That sounds interesting, so.
Should be pretty cool.
So
some things I can't talk about.
I know Drew's been playing with his new MIDI keyboard and making music, but other than that, you just grab World War Z and not playing much else, really, or what?
That's not true. I'm playing that Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the.
Legacy of the Duelist or whatever.
The Link Evolution, the new updated version of it with all the Link cards in it.
I need to go check that out.
Well, it's on the Switch too, and it's fully touchscreen. I was so hyped about that. I'm not even kidding with you, dude. The whole entire map is touchscreen.
And I heard Joey's dumbass, being Joey, bought it for $40 on PS4.
I tried to tell him, I was like, dude, it's even touchscreen, and he's like, how do you put it on the TV touchscreen? He was confused about what I was saying, and I'm like,
he's touching his TV
like
he literally.
He lied.
Dude, so here's the $3 PS4 question: does the trackpad, the touchpad on the controller of the PS4 work it on the game?
It probably will, but like it probably is trash because the touchpad's way too finicky.
Yeah.
It works, but it's just like when you touch it, it's like on the screen.
But like they perfected the touchscreen in this game. Like you hit the graveyard, banish, whatever, everything you could take the fucking little controllers off and just play with the screen.
That's awesome.
Everything is accessible just through touchscreen.
That's dope. I might have to grab that because I don't want to buy new cards. I don't feel like doing all that. Like,
and it's got all of them, dude.
Yeah, that's
from the original Yu-Gi-Oh series all the way up to the new Link Evolution. All the Link cards are in it. There's a Light Sword Link card. I didn't even know about it.
That's crazy, dude. Yep. That sounds dope. Zoom is telling me we only have 10 minutes left, but I feel like it's lying again. But we'll see. I forgot that when you start early, it like.
I was gonna say, did they reinstate the cap? Because wasn't there like a 45-minute or an hour cap?
Yeah, and now it's saying, but whatever. I don't give a shit. We'll just roll with it, and if it boots me, I'll fucking reset it. But
anyway, Drew, I was feeling the same way about Darkest Dungeon on Switch. Because the touch interface they did was absolutely amazing. Like if it looks like an icon or a button or like a guy you can pick up and drag or move, that's basically what it does.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I like the Switch just doing that a lot.
To roll into the news, Garrett just brought up the Cyberpunk delay. Another delay. Come back another 2 months, go into November. Yeah, he said it broke his heart. I know, it's a little frustrating. It is annoying. We're getting in November 19th now, Cyberpunk, so.
I'm not happy about the delay, but I can completely understand it, especially when they said the game's done. This is straight up polish. We need time to polish.
Mm-hmm.
A, cool. B, like I was saying to Eric before, by doing this, I feel they just straight up handed Avengers the fall.
Yeah.
Because Avengers was supposed to come out a week before Cyberpunk in, what was it, September or whatever it was?
Yeah, it's right around there. It was supposed to be like literally a week away from each other, and now they're like, you know what? Go ahead, you guys got it. We'll just sit by ourselves in November for now. I'm sure there's gonna be other stuff coming November though.
You just don't want to compete with that.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff in
Cyberpunk is nice.
A lot of the stuff in August and September is your traditional annual sports releases, your Maddens, your FIFAs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That I don't know. It's one of those things that didn't really bother me one way or the other because they're trying to perfect the game, but they should have never said, "Oh, hey, we're not gonna announce the release date until the game is finished or ready to go," and then they keep announcing release dates, and then they don't hit the mark. It's like, why? Just stop talking about it.
So it's not necessarily out of character for them being CD Projekt Red, because if you go back to look at the Witcher 3 release, this was very similar. Whereas like, it's done, we got a little bit more, we're coming with this update. Like, even obviously after the game came out, they kept working on it a while, but they're known for letting the community be engaged with the features that they're working on, but not necessarily known for maybe hitting that deadline just so.
Yeah, very true. It is odd that they would keep doing that, but I feel like it's because of next gen. They're running into problems on these next gen consoles and like just fine tuning everything. They don't want to release a game that has bugs. That's really what it is.
And they've stated from the get go that the next gen versions are not going to be ready for launch of next gen.
Yeah, no, I don't see that happening either. But oh well, we'll see.
Or at least not optimized for them anyway.
Yeah. So like I said, this is saying we have 6 minutes left, so if it does run out, I'm just gonna leave it running on the live stream and recording, and then I'm gonna fucking just invite you guys all again. Because your name's Lab, apparently, Drew, so I don't know what that means.
Ass bitch.
Ass bitch. That's basically what it is.
I don't think Drew made an account. He just stole somebody else's.
Essentially, that seems like that's what happened.
It was easy.
I robbed them.
Snatch that shit.
So EA Play was yesterday too, and wow, what a mediocre event.
I think it was visually produced very well considering the pandemic and everything going on. It was better than Microsoft's Inside Xbox they did a couple months ago, which was
not too hard to beat.
I'm shooting on Zoom from my kitchen. You know what I mean?
They did a good job with what they had. Yeah,
that being said, the content of the games I thought was very okay, just fine.
Yes.
There were some things I was looking forward to. There was some things that I wasn't interested in, and some things that just weren't for me.
Yeah, exactly. There was a couple games, a lot of indie stuff, like you were saying. The best two things I saw coming out of it was they announced crossplay for pretty much every multiplayer game that they talked about. Apex Legends, Squadrons, Star Wars Squadrons is getting full crossplay. They're doing this EA Originals thing, and everything on that's getting crossplay.
Is Apex not crossplay right now?
No, not yet.
It's not, but it will be.
Yep,
and next update, I think
they're going to Steam, and I think that's part of it. Once they go to Steam, it'll make it a little easier for them. They're gonna make EA accounts, and you run through just like you do Activision. You got that. So all of EA's backlog is going to Steam. And then there's just a ton of stuff
which is everything. Which has been a common move lately, because Microsoft and EA have been dumping all their titles on Steam, kind of breaking that traditional marketplace of, oh, hey, you don't have to buy this on EA Origin. You don't have to buy this on the Microsoft store in your Windows 10. You can just, go to Steam.
Yep,
but we're still going to get you on the microtransactions.
Absolutely.
Yep. That, and then, of course, Skate 4, I guess it would be called. We got a very pseudo announcement. They just the creators popped up on screen, and they said that we commented Skate into existence. So, that's cool. I'm sure everyone's excited about that.
I'm with that. The amount of hours I put into Skate 2 and 3.
It's
a lot, dude. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's very true. But it's a little unfortunate because there's 2 games coming out right now: Skater XL and Sessions. They're both about to drop, and that's when Hawk. And Tony Hawk's getting remastered. So all these skating games are coming out, and then Skate finally gets their licensing and bullshit figured out to be able to announce a new skate game. So like it sucks for them because like Skater XL looks amazing. It looks like perfect. But I mean, it is Skate. It has the brand name. It will come out strong, I'm sure. And it's not going to be for a while because they didn't show any gameplay or anything.
Yeah, I think what's been happening with a lot of that kind of stuff is the stuff that's in development is going to be way more affected by the pandemic than the stuff that was coming out of development. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, very true. Because a lot of people can take like the already almost finished stuff and bring that home and just tweak it and fix it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you see stuff like Cyberpunk being affected by it by only a little bit. It's like a couple months, we got it.
Well, and because of stuff like that, like the polished stuff of Cyberpunk, they need people to play that game. You have to go find the bugs, figure out what caused the bug, and squash the bug. And that's not necessarily something you want to do remotely with a game that everybody's that excited for and ready to break, like, information about.
Yep, 100%. So, yeah, wish EA Play would have been a little bit more exciting, but, I mean, at least they got something. There's one cool game called, like, Rockets something or other.
Rocket Ride or something?
It's like Let's Rocket or something like that. It's just a straight up 3v3 multiplayer rocket shooting game. And it looked fun. It looked cool.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
That, I remember the trailer for that one. It was giving me kind of Battleborn-ish vibes. It wasn't bad. It looked cool, but it was like, is this like action MOBA gonna take off?
Kind of, yeah. It seems kind of like that. It reminded me of like, I'm drawing a blank too, but like a lot very airborne, like a jump in the air, shoot people with rockets, very colorful, characterized.
Lawbreakers.
Rocket Arena.
Yes, yeah, that's it. Lawbreakers, that one. That was, Rocket Arena it's called. Okay, that's what it is. But yeah, looks cool.
It reminds me of the one that Microsoft just tried to bring out that was basically the same kind of thing with like a cast of weird characters. They announced it as an Inside Xbox, put it on Game Pass as beta, and it's done nothing. You've heard like absolutely nothing about this.
Kind of looks like a
Blood something.
Overwatch, Fortnite.
Exactly.
Match.
That's exactly what it is.
Yep, essentially, it is. It looks cool. I'll give it that. I
think that's going to be another one of those parts of Game Pass where like they just throw that out there, see if it sticks to the wall, and if it does, cool. If it doesn't, whatever. It's one of 200 games for $5.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. And Chris, you brought something up to me that kind of like threw me off a little bit, but is one of the coolest things I've ever heard. So we had the whole World Health Organization saying gaming is an addiction thing last year, and everybody was like, this is so stupid. But now doctors can prescribe a video game for
anxiety,
for ADHD and anxiety.
Right into the main vein.
So it's a game called
You can't crush up that and snort it.
Fair enough.
You can melt it down and smoke it.
You could.
He's got you there.
Anyway, games.
Yeah, it's interesting. Oh boy, did we lose it? We lost it. Oh no. All right, guys. Well, I need to set back up. Recording though, and yeah, we're back. But yeah, like it just a ton. Like, unfortunately, we lost Jay. Oh well, he's a little busy, but we still got Drew and Chris here to finish up the roundup of all the BS that's happening right now. The PS5 leaks I wanted to bring up again. Do you guys think there's any substantial shit here? Because they're saying November 20th, 2020, and then they're also saying $560 so bucks for that's rounded, and then $450 for the digital.
So I think they're obviously going to want to round it to a more standard number. I think they're either going to do $599 or $549 for the 4K Blu-ray version. If they can get it to $449 for the discless version, I think that's going to be a real aggressive sales point. I think they're going to sell a ton of those at $450.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
And the reason I think $450 is going to be a viable price, rumor is pumping out that that's what Microsoft's lower end console, the Series S, as opposed to the Series X, is going to be the Lockhart console everyone's been rumoring about.
Okay.
So it will have the 4K Blu-ray drive because almost all of the Microsoft systems have the 4K Blu-ray drive.
Yeah.
But it will be an SSD console the way the Series X is. It's just not going to have as powerful of a GPU and CPU. They're essentially going to they're essentially going to take the guts of the Xbox One X, giving it an SSD, and making that the entry-level Series S, because the Series X is already a half-step 4K console anyway.
Okay. I mean, that's not bad, but I feel like that holds them back. That I've talked about that before. I don't think that's a smart move.
I don't think it will hold them back, because the Series X is already a higher spec target console. It's already got like 12 gigs of RAM in it.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. It'll still run smoothly. But to me, like, the loading, why cut off your loading times? SSD is not that expensive. You should just do a 500 gig SSD.
I think the SSD point of it all is to make a line in the sand of being like, oh, this is next generation with SSD. Last generation was hard drive. And that's going to be like that loading difference and how things are going to run and process and how you program for things. That's going to be the generational differences. Last gen didn't have that hardware. This gen does, and that's it. That's the difference.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. So, Drew, you made an account now? It actually says Drew on there instead of Lab.
It says name. So Drew.
You should have put Nombre.
Nombre?
Nombre.
Spanish for name.
Right. But yeah, I think you're pretty much right on that. We saw what happened last generation, like how they waited for Xbox to announce their pricing, and the moment they did, Sony like breathed a sigh of relief, and then next day they dropped that $400 price point, and
I think that's one of the reasons Microsoft has not announced or shown the smaller, less expensive console. I think they're trying to hype up the Series X. They're trying to show the big boy with all the bells and whistles and everything they got. And I think the big boy could very easily be that same $550, $600. And I think where Microsoft is really going to try and undercut Sony is they will take a huge loss to get the new Series S, the new baseline Xbox, out there for like $299.
Yes. 100%. And they Phil Spencer said that he thinks that the Series X is going to fail. He literally said that. He said that he doesn't think it's going to roll out and work well, which is an odd thing for the head of Xbox Studios to say.
I think what his interpretation was, it will work, but I don't think it's going to see the adoption rate that 360 saw. You don't get the capture of that lightning in a bottle again, and I think they realized that they, for lack of a better term, screwed up and lost the crown. They lost the generation title, because in that 360 generation, even Nintendo was having a hard time touching Microsoft.
Very true. Yeah, and then and like I think, like you said, them keeping that other console on the back burner and like him saying stuff like that, he knows when he pulls out that other console, that's gonna sell way better than the Series X. So. And
not only that, but especially with them kind of diversifying their portfolio that way, it doesn't matter what box you own. It matters like what system you're playing.
What games
they
you're
want
playing.
you. Yeah. Yep. And with Game Pass on PC and console and all that, it's an incredible way to onboard people into Microsoft's platforms, whether they know it or not.
Yeah, and soon on mobile, and then maybe even on Switch soon, which is.
And
we never know.
Bringing up the Microsoft thing, The Verge, I believe, had an article, and that was followed up on by GameSpot, that they are going to be upgrading the xCloud servers to run Series X hardware. It's currently running off Xbox One S hardware, like 4 or 5 of them in a blade-mounted rack server. They're, over the course of the next couple months, year or so, they're going to be replacing a lot of them to Series X hardware as opposed to Series S. So it will run all the same games and just be more optimized for all that. And they may have accidentally let it leak. It may have been already previously discussed, but I don't know it being openly discussed by a Microsoft employee, that they're going to be rolling xCloud into Game Pass as part of a nominal fee.
They should. That's like they've had a lot of success doing that with Xbox Live and the Game Pass Ultimate.
Yep.
Like people just buy Ultimate because like they're like, why not? I'll get those two free games
and
too.
That's what I think they're trying to do, is build the Ultimate service that you can just play a game on your Microsoft PC, on an Xbox, on your phone, on your iPad, on anywhere, as long as you're in their ecosystem and giving them a couple bucks a month.
Yeah, I mean, they're killing it. I never thought I'd be sitting here playing Xbox games, but I'm doing it on my PC and I'm loving it. So
you will have to let at least me personally know, and maybe the audience, how Sunset Overdrive is when you finally get into it.
Yeah, I'm trying to finish a few games up first because I know I'm gonna like it. That's my problem.
Dude, you're gonna fall in love with it. You're gonna play it and you're gonna be like, oh, now I know why Insomniac made a Spider-Man game.
Yeah, I know. You keep saying that to me. It should be interesting to see.
Dude, it's literally a lost Spider-Man game. Like if you just like copy and paste the protagonist as not Spider-Man, like it's a Spider-Man
game. Yeah, pretty much. What else did we have, Chris? There was something else that you were talking. Oh, the DTS surround sound thing. How's that going?
Okay. I got a new plug-in from Microsoft that I've been testing out about DTS-X surround sound. My surround sound receiver is a standard DTS receiver. It's probably about 10 years old. Good regular surround sound receiver, but it's not taking advantage of a lot of the 4K Blu-ray audio, some
3D audio. Yeah.
Exactly. It's got basic 3D audio, not like fancy stuff. So with this DTS Series X thing, it not only with the receiver for 3D audio, but with the headphones, give you that simulated surround sound spatial. You guys over in Sony PlayStation Land have had something similar that Sony has had for a good bit of this generation, and Microsoft always just kept with stereo and was like, oh, for headphones, stereo's enough.
Yeah, we've had DTS since launch, I'm pretty sure. DTS and Dolby.
So they've had a version of it for a while, but the problem was it was either I think like $100 a year or like $20 a month. You had to subscribe to DTS for it. Yeah, you had to subscribe to DTS for it, and no one did it because no one cares
enough.
It wasn't a measurable thing. So what I think Microsoft's trying to do is partnering with DTS more to, in the box, kind of give you a 60-day subscription or some kind of limited subscription to get it out of the gate and be like, look, here's the difference. Because one of the cool things they did is they gave you a tool that's like, hey, you're this dot in the middle, and it shows you like a stick figure. And you move this bar around you, and like it simulates the 3D sound moving around your head as it does it.
That sounds
and this is
dope.
all on the console, all done right through my regular Xbox controller with the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So like it wasn't any special hardware, it's still just regular stuff.
Yeah, they just had to work on it for a while to get it out.
Yeah, and I think that's the important way to do it for Microsoft, is rather than locking you into like high-end hardware that people may or may not adopt, doing it as software-wise and using your existing stuff is really the way to go. And after the trial expires, I think you might only have to give them like $30 or something like that. But that's worth it for a limited like year, 2 year, whatever it is, to get better sound if you experience that better sound first.
Yeah.
People know when they're missing something. They don't know when they don't have it.
That's very true. You have to try it before you know if you want it. That's very true. So last week we talked a lot about the PS5 stuff, obviously. It's all anyone's been talking about. I didn't get your take on it yet, though. Drew, what the fuck did you think of all that, dude? Like, so many good announcements, so many good games, so much.
What the fuck? I kind of appreciate the way it looks. I like the memes that are coming out of it.
Yeah. Kaiba.
If I'm being real. I don't know, man. I like the
Why did it swap you guys again? It's so weird.
I don't know. It just says his name there.
Yeah.
I just got a phone call.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
I just had to bang on somebody.
Fuck them.
Like, what the fuck is that game? The Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Forbidden West. Yeah.
Forbidden West, yeah.
Shit looks amazing.
Yeah, I know. I told you, dude. The first one was incredible, but you could see that they wanted to do more with the game. Like they wanted to like expand upon it, and they kind of couldn't. They ran out of space. They ran out of detailing. Like, and now the PS5 is gonna let them take it way beyond.
Well, and I think the DLC for Horizon Zero Dawn showed that they wanted to really expand upon it, but they had to like draw a line somewhere of like, look, there's stuff we'd love to keep adding and going with this, but we have to stop because we have to hold something for the next game.
100%. That's what I was thinking too. Like,
kind of how it feels like with the Spider-Man game as well.
100%. That was my exact next phrase. That's exactly what happened with Spider-Man Miles Morales. You saw they brought that engine over for that PS5 demo. The PS4 Spider-Man ran like butter, and they were like, yo, let's take this idea and run with it. And oh, have you heard about Miles Morales?
Yep.
Let me talk to you about Into the Spider-Verse.
Dude, if you played it, you would understand like the feels when you find out that Miles got his powers so quickly, and then at the end of the game, like he talks to Peter about it, and then they just ran right with it. Like that's amazing to me. Like that it's coming out this soon too. Like oh, thank you.
And I have to give props to Sony. I feel Sony better than any other of like the big console manufacturers really takes advantage of their IP. They know how to beat that drum.
Yeah, and they made great deals with Disney and Marvel Studios. They made great deals. Like you got the film IP, give us the game IP. Let's run with this. Like
and Nintendo does an incredible job with Mario, don't get me wrong, but Mario's like an icon. That's a brand ambassador. You know what I mean? The fact that Sony keeps coming up with these new IPs, breathing new life into these stories, and people keep wanting to come back for these stories, dude.
Yeah, and no one else has done that. No one.
Nope.
No one has had like the Xbox tried with Sunset Overdrive, and it was a success, but it wasn't like a huge user success.
I mean, if you really stop and look at it, the closest thing Xbox has to something like that is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Now,
which that was on PS4 too.
Yeah, they saw that and they were like, I want that. Yeah, that's a good move on their part, and they're trying to do that now. But yeah, what else? What else were you hype about, Drew? Did you see Ratchet and Clank? How sick that looks.
Kind of with the Demon Soul.
Oh yeah.
See? I think it's weird that they're doing it, but like that's gonna be really fucking cool. It's just hard as shit, but gonna look way prettier than any game.
So I feel that is very, very good hands being redone by Bluepoint, because that game being an old PS3 almost launch game, it needs to be gutted and rebuilt from the ground up.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not like, oh, we can do a copy paste and up this to like, you know what I mean, a higher resolution or whatever. It straight up needs a rebuild, because some of the systems in that game, while super inventive at the time, now are just going to show their age, that it's like 15 years old.
Yep, for sure. Have you ever played the original, Drew?
Yes.
You did? Okay. See, yes. I haven't yet. I'm waiting. I'm hyped to be able to get a hold of that, because I just never had the chance to touch it. So I'm really excited to be able to get into something like that and have it be nice, crispy, like feel the way it should, no glitches, like all that. It's
cool, but it's more obtuse than Dark Souls in a way. Like that game literally tells you nothing. Like your job is to die and walk around and see what you get into.
I'm all for that. I'm all about that kind of shit. Like it's hard. I know that, but I'm all about it.
So I feel Bloodborne had the success that it did because it had a bit of more on-rail story. It totally was an open world adventure game, but like there was a you kill the guy, you progress to a new zone kind of aspect to that game. Demon Souls did not have that. You could totally wander in an area you were not supposed to be in and get wrecked.
Sekiro had a more story base to it too, even though it's not linear at all. It's not like there's still like 3 different endings, and it's very story driven.
They branched out more years after Demon Souls, and especially with Dark Souls, it's a very if-then. If you did this, then that happened. If you didn't do this, then that happened.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how both of the other games turned out after. So it's definitely cool. He said, I inviting all the PS4 peeps. I see how it is. No, George. Only reason you're not here is because all you talk about is Halo.
Which, give it time. We'll call you.
Well, yeah, you're damn right. You wait for that drop. The next Xbox drop. We got you.
Speaking of new drops, the rumor mill via, I believe, Taiwan's rating board or...
Another phone call?
Yep, people keep blowing me up. Via Taiwan's rating board or France's rating board. I can't remember which. A new Crash Bandicoot game.
Oh, yeah. I just saw that. Apparently, IGN got sent a puzzle, and the puzzle had the same face as the picture on the cover of the game.
Yeah, I'm going to say the cover of the game leaked, so it's straight up a real new Crash Bandicoot game.
Yes, like if there's 2 sources and they tie together like that, it's a new Crash Bandicoot. And
so
apparently it's done by Toys for Bob as well. So they
exactly. And I was going to say, apparently this game's already done and ready to go. I have a feeling this is going to be a stealth drop at Microsoft's next event that just happened to break out first.
Possibly. I definitely see it being a next-gen launch, if not
because
this summer.
If it's not on Sony's stage, it's going to be on Microsoft's, just straight up.
George said, "What's up, guys?" to the both of you.
Yo, George.
Yeah, I agree. He said the people that made the Spyro remaster did it. Yes, yeah. Toys for Bob.
Absolutely.
And they did the Crash remasters as well. So they're very in depth in that old Sony world. So they know what they're doing, and I think it'll feel very much like the OG Crash games. So
yeah,
it should be cool to see what they pull off with that.
They did Crash, and I believe they did the Spyro remaster.
Yeah, that's what he said
first.
That's what he said. Yeah. And then they're probably going to make a new Spyro game shortly after. I'd imagine they'll probably alternate between the two and just keep going.
I know Activision is looking for IP to reinvigorate and get out there beyond the standard, like, hey, 2K Games, Rockstar stuff.
Yep, they're coming back with Tony Hawk. You see that? Coming back with Crash, coming back with CTR, coming back with Spyro. The Activision's making good moves lately. They've been doing a good job. And quite like what I think Dark Soul or Demon Souls, they're gonna be like these $40 games that are a little bit cheaper that everyone will just grab because of the case.
And it's funny that, not to go back to a previous topic, but it's funny that you bring up that $40 thing. That's what Star Wars Squadron is launching at. It's only gonna be $40 for that game.
That's awesome. Wow, well done, EA. See, EA and Activision are finally growing with the times. I gotta give them credit. They're dropping a lot of free stuff. They're doing crossplay. They're talking about only cosmetic price point stuff. They don't want to bombard you with add-ons.
And I think they're getting smart at the tail end of the generation now, that they can turn around and take half of an experience or an element from another experience that was really cool and spin that off into its own game in only a year or 18 months or whatever, because you already have a basic engine and an idea and a theory to work with.
Very true.
I think that's what we're seeing a lot of at the tail end of this generation, the beginning of next, as people kind of bridge the gap.
Yeah, that's very true. It should be interesting to see where Microsoft goes now, though, bringing it back to them, because this whole last 2 weeks has been, every article I see has something to do with Sony, has something to do with PS5, has something to do with one of those games. Let's see fucking something from Microsoft. Let's see them have a week of just games. It'd be nice to see that.
Eric, you might have to Google and check the date, but Microsoft way back in May or April set up their schedule of release. So they did their May event. I believe the next event is coming July 12th or something for Xbox. Their Inside Xbox event or whatever.
Okay, so they're alternating. That's actually kind of cool because this month is PlayStation. Next month will be Microsoft, and then the month after that is the State of Play for PlayStation. So seems like they're alternating. That's cool. They're probably in cahoots a little bit, and I bet you in September we get an announcement about the Azure program and how Sony is implementing that into the PS5. I bet you.
Oh, the Azure cloud stuff. I don't think they're going to make an announcement about that. That's going to be
a behind closed doors kind of thing.
Or a GDC talk, something that's beyond super technical.
Yeah, but I think they're gonna implement that into the PS Now, and you maybe I was saying maybe get a rebranding of PS Now and get a new launch.
I don't think they're gonna rebrand it initially. I think it's gonna take some time for them to transition that kind of stuff over to just a different platform of stability. Because I think what it's gonna do is it's gonna stateside here in America increase the speed of the PlayStation Store, because everyone complains about the lag or the downloads or the disconnects and stuff like that, because their home base of the store is in Japan. So you're literally pinging some things from around the world, and although it may be built locally, their servers in a lot of cases are still over in Japan.
Yeah, that is very true. He said this guy Voltplayer says hello, and then he goes, "It lags so bad. It's true." It is. It's annoying.
I feel your pain, friend.
I've been very fortunate with PlayStation's setup. I don't really get too many issues, but especially during this quarantine, we've had a lot of issues with download speeds. You can see where the download wants to be as soon as you start it. It'll be running at 30, 40 megs a second, and then it'll drop straight down to 10 megs a second, and it's come on, fucker, just let me download the game.
Yeah, and Drew, I don't know if you've run into some stuff like this, but I think that moving things locally is going to not only relieve the stress on the foreign market, but increase the speed here in America. So like it'll help everyone everywhere by just breaking this up a little bit.
100%, man. 100%. But yeah, talking about PlayStation, I'm actually very excited to hop in with Drew real quick and get into this Battlefront 2. Joey should be home by now. He should, unless he's out being mischievous with Hendy.
I don't think so. I was playing with him earlier. But yo, what about
cool.
Project Athia? I was scrolling down this list.
We talked about this last podcast too. That dude. So you watched Kind of Funny.
Was that gameplay in that trailer, that teaser trailer?
Yes.
That was gameplay?
Yes.
It was gameplay without the HUD, without the UI.
So you know
That's
Kind of
crazy,
right?
awesome.
Do you know Kind of Funny, right, Drew? Like you've
Kinda
seen some of their
Funny?
stuff, Kind of Funny games. The guy Greg Miller and all them. No, I could have swore I told you about them, but
You probably did, but I probably didn't watch it. So sorry.
this guy Gary Whitta is on there every week. He wrote Star Wars Rogue One, or helped write Star Wars Rogue One. He is one of
Eli.
Yeah, he's one of the head writers for Project Athia. I love this guy. So it's gonna be very interesting to see a Book of Eli Star Wars guy. He's done a lot of books,
So he just wrote what is it, number 80 Joker Spectacular? Like
yes,
comics,
with Greg Miller.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, with Greg Miller as well. You should check them out, dude. Kind of Funny games. You would really enjoy them. They're and anyone else in the chat right now, they're great.
They're fun, goofy.
Yeah, they're part of what inspired me to do this. So, because I love it. So.
What's up with this Grand Theft Auto 5 enhanced shit?
Again.
That is the next gen GTA.
Yeah, it's
Why
just,
though?
So it's gonna run.
I get it.
Way better is the thing.
GTA 4K.
They're supposed to be adding a lot of textures, new weapons, things that they couldn't do this generation. All those updates that they had planned and they couldn't do, they're gonna do for this. So that's supposedly their plan, and that should be interesting.
That game in its entire lifetime went from what, 720 for the PS3 to 4K?
Yeah, straight up.
Yep.
3 consoles.
And they relaunch it completely. We're gonna see it on every single generation.
I'm not gonna lie, I bought the latest one.
What's up, little Jimmy?
I played it all in first person, and honestly, that was its own experience.
You know what I mean? Totally.
Yep.
I played 5 just to run around and do stupid crimes online with my friends. I tried to play the campaign, and I came from Forza Horizon 4, like a legit driving game, to GTA 5, and all I did was curse. I could not drive in that game. I kept plowing into everything. I forgot how unique, let's say, the Rockstar control scheme is. That, dude, janky, I accidentally punched somebody in the face rather than talk to them.
Dude, almost 7 years old. Guy in the chat just asked how old it is again. A 7-year-old game on 3 consoles. That is a console generation. So it came out at the tail end of PS3 360, and then rolled over.
The only other game that I can think of that has done that would be Persona 5.
Yeah. And then they just dropped Royal, too. Persona 5 Royal.
Yeah, but Royal's not on PS5 yet.
Yeah, no, it's on PS4, but it will be. 100%. They love that game.
It's crazy to me that, some of these PS3, half cross-gen games from the beginning of the launch of the last generation are still around and popular.
100%.
You gotta give credit to Rockstar, though. I mean, they've consistently given out updates without any extra fee, right?
They've really done a little bit of stuff, but no.
Yeah.
It's nothing that you need to keep playing.
You get a starter pack for the new update. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the amount of free stuff they've done is 3-to-1 versus the amount of paid stuff. They'll give you so much more than before you're ready to pay. I think they were doing an event around Christmas or something where if you just logged in and played for 14 days, they're oh, here's $1 million. Here's $20 in GTA cash. Here you go.
100%. 100, and it's crazy. It's good that they do that, and then they're making all their money off shark cards and stuff. And then they got Red Dead 2 online.
Which is, I don't know, I haven't played it in a while. I stopped right before they came out with that big update, so I can't.
So they did a big push over on our side, the Xbox side, because it showed up on Game Pass, and everybody just got their hands on it and started messing with it again.
Yeah. Have you got into it much or no?
Not huge. My buddy Staley got all into it, and he started a posse and was running around roping people. And
He's
stuff.
the type. I played it for a couple. I played it for a couple weeks,
and it was cool. But in terms of Red Dead Redemption, I'd much prefer the story. For GTA, it's the opposite. I don't care about the GTA story. I'd rather just mess around online and have fun. So it's interesting that like basically the same game with a different skin draws me in different directions.
Yeah.
I mean, that story is next level, though. I mean, I had so much fun. I sunk hundreds of hours into that just fishing and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So one of the main reasons I don't think it grabbed me like hardcore, I played like maybe 30 or 40 hours. Like I played a good bit, but not enough to make it through just because how long the game was.
Yeah, it's like 90 hours just story.
Absolutely. Was because, as Eric can contest, I am still playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
He's playing way too many games.
Still trying to finish Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I went back and loaded up my save from 2019 at like 85 hours or 80 hours. And I'm up over 110 hours already, so like
yeah, stuff like that is constant. That's why I don't pick up games like Fallout or Elder Scrolls or because it's like, dude, I don't have the fucking time to play 100 and 200 hour game when I'm playing 3 other games already. Like,
I have 3 of the extra 6 DLC done. I'm gonna finish Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's gonna feel like an Odyssey because it's gonna take me like 150 hours to finish this game.
Lying,
but I'm gonna do it.
And then you're like, oh yeah, and I'm totally, by the way, gonna grab Origins now. And I'm like, dude, you're not gonna like it, but we'll see. Chimmy, me and my buddy are actually hopping on Battlefront 2 right after this podcast. I'm only gonna be on for an hour or so.
Get your Vader up.
Yeah, because right? I gotta get running. I'm getting blown up left and right.
All right. Well, we pretty much covered it.
Shit.
We pretty much covered it, though. Anything else you guys got that you wanted to bring up? Any other games?
I
think not.
Nah, I think we're pretty groovy.
All
right. Keep an eye out for Paper Mario Origami. That's coming in like 2 or 3 weeks. They just dropped another trailer for it the other day.
I forgot it was that soon. That's cool.
Yeah. Dude, Nintendo is like, oh, the pandemic messed up our release schedule. We were going to do stuff, and now, hey, we're making a Pokemon Snap.
Right. All right. Well, that pretty much covers it. Thanks for hopping in, Drew. I appreciate it. Thanks to Jay if you're watching. And
as always, make sure you guys like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Comment on Eric's man bun.
Yeah, it's not a bun. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, he has a bun.
No, you ready? Here, we just comment on my bald spot.
Yeah, yeah, real bald. It's gone. Lost your hair completely. Oh, and he's out. All right.
Oh, man.
All right, brother. Well, thank you. I'll see you later. Peace out, brother. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for watching.